Shalom and welcome to another episode in our series called Faith Journeys with God in the Land. Today I'm on the western slope of the Mount of Olives talking about the Passion of Jesus. The Passion of Jesus is felt here on the Mount of Olives. The Garden of Gethsemane, we're not sure exactly where it was, but this whole slope, the western slope of the Mount of Olives, as we are looking westward towards the Temple Mount, there you see the Temple Mount behind me, the eastern wall. But the Passion of Jesus is seen in this area. Now there's a traditional location for the Garden of Gethsemane called the Church of All Nations, but somewhere here on this slope is where Jesus brought his disciples after the Last Supper, the Passover meal. And Jesus comes here and he prays. So when we read from Luke 22, we really read and understand the level of passion. And Jesus prays. His disciples are also praying, although they fall asleep. Eventually, Judas betrays Jesus. The high priest Caiaphas and his family and the temple guards and Sadducees, the elders come. They bind Jesus. They take him to the house of Caiaphas for one night, and then Jesus is handed off to Pilate, who's in town from Caesarea, most likely residing in Herod's palace. And there Jesus is mocked, he's ridiculed, and he's sentenced to crucifixion. He would die on a cross. He would rise again in 3 days. He would ascend from the top of the Mount of Olives to heaven, Acts 1. But what he said here, somewhere in the Garden of Gethsemane, wherever that was, he said a phrase that I think is so important for us in our faith walk with God. He says, "Not my will, but yours be done." Not my will, but yours be done. You see, Jesus already obediently was prepared to endure the ridicule, the mocking. He literally was crushed for our iniquity, using the words of Isaiah 53. And Jesus said here, "Not my will, but yours be done." Jesus was ready to accomplish his Father's will. And that will was to fulfill God's redemptive plan for the world. We as believers know that we are the recipients of God's grace and goodness as Jesus was sent for the purpose of dying for the world. He, of course, would rise again and ascend into heaven. He's coming back. His feet will stand somewhere on the Mount of Olives, here, right where I'm walking. But this phrase really strikes me, and I hope it encourages you to understand that God has called us to say, "Father, not my will, but yours be done." A great part of our faith walk journey is to say no to ourselves and to say yes to God. Jesus said it here. He fulfilled his Father's will. He accomplished the redemptive plan. And we now have the same opportunity to say, "Not my will, but yours be done." These are humbling words. It's a humbling phrase, isn't it? It's hard, isn't it? To say, "Not now, Lord. Not yet, Lord." And yet, God invites us to say, right now, "Not my will, I'll set my own priorities aside to accomplish your will. That's the essence of what Jesus said here as he endured all of this for the sake of you and me. So be encouraged today in your faith walk, as maybe difficult as it may be, to say, Father, not my will, but yours be done. Move my heart, inspire my heart to accomplish your will and purpose for my life. So here in the garden tomb, we remember these words of Jesus as we are people of faith inspired by his own example. Be encouraged today, and until next time, shalom.